Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WWTF. We want to Facts Game Show. I'm Mike C.
And I'm Fred White.
Hey, y'all. So today we're gonna be bring you a couple topics, but let's take care of what everybody just found out the other night. So it's Chadwick Boseman. He died last night with a 4-year stint battle of colon cancer.
Yeah, that is some scary stuff, man. That is some scary stuff, because I'm not even going to be selfish and say anything about the Marvel universe, but this man was so young. This was a handsome young black man, and you just couldn't see it. Nobody knew, and it's a tragedy that somebody lost their life. And well, any life is lost is tragic, but just him, to me, when I look at him, he looks like the picture of good health. And then to hear this news, oh man, I have no words for it. I can't even formulate any type of content for that.
Well, because it seemed like he was just in real, like, the height of his career, because you can see him play black leaders and people that really touched history,
Yeah.
as far as like Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, as well as I'm forgetting one other, Jackie Robinson, James Brown. He did James Brown as well, too. And of course, the highlight, far as that he said, like, was one of his most pleasing parts, was actually doing Black Panther, being the first black superhero, far as shown on TV like that. So he was. I just saw great things in his future for him. But remember, he was battling this while shooting Black Panther, and nobody knew. Just his family, just his immediate family knew. He kept that out of the limelight. So he seemed like he was still he was a celebrity, but a private person. And he definitely will be missed, because I was really looking forward to. I'm being selfish myself. I was really looking forward to Black Panther 2 and see what they were going to do next, far as with the series. But and he's done a lot of stuff. So it's sad to see one of the good ones go. You know what I'm saying?
One thing that we forgot to do before the start of the show, we and I apologize.
Okay.
We have two of our good friends here helping us with the show today. We got my man Quest. That's my clan leader on the NBO side of the video game side stuff. Say what's up, Quest.
What's going on, guys?
And then we got my man Juan. Man Juan. He's in here to help us with a couple of these topics today. Say what's up, Juan.
What's going on, everybody?
We apologize for that. And then also what we showed y'all at the beginning of the stream, don't forget, tonight is the Madden 21 giveaway on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. If you guess the outcome and score, you'll win a copy, but you would have to follow the rules. And you can go to the Facebook page and get all of that, so you can follow the rules. And this is for everybody that's watching on Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So everything is in the description. But getting back to the topic at hand, question: what is your view on this tragic loss that we experienced today?
Well, to take something positive from it, I think that all young, especially black men, should go out and make sure that they're seeing a doctor on a regular basis, because this type of thing, evidently for him, was genetic. It was a time bomb that was going off, and he didn't know it was going off until it was really too late. Because I believe when he was diagnosed with stage 5 colon cancer. So going to the doctor on a regular basis can head off something like this a little early before it spreads throughout your body, and that's evidently what happened to him. Not that it was his fault or anything,
Right.
because he was very young, and a lot of young people don't think of going to see a doctor at 34, 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't think to do that. But as black men, we have a lot of things going on, and health-wise, and we really need to see doctors on a regular basis. So to take something positive from this is that if you're not seeing a doctor on a regular basis, you need to. And the big thing that is so important, especially with young black people, especially young poor black people, is to make sure you register and vote, because our health is on the line.
Correct.
The government will not, with Trump in office, the government is not going to sustain us as far as health is concerned.
What's up,
it's
Kevin?
just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. We need to get people in office that will care about us as a community. And right now, to be honest with you, the people that are in charge right now are only thinking about one thing: themselves, and how to make themselves as wealthy as possible.
Correct.
So we need to get them out. This is the people's house. This is not the Trump house.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And poor people need to get out and register and vote. People are fighting for you. And if you don't register and vote, you can't be fought for, because you see what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Juan, what say you?
I mean, it was a tragic event. Came out of left field. Really, it was so unexpected. It's like Mike said, he was a picture of good health. And also, like Wes said, we need to go out there and get ourselves checked. I'm dealing with stage 5 kidney disease right now. So that's something that we definitely need to go ahead and look out for ourselves.
Yeah, in the middle of this pandemic, I think a lot of fears among the African American community is catching it, because we're at a highly untrusted state right now, where we're very cautious and cognizant of the things that we do and the places that we go. And like myself, I still venture out, but if I don't get that social distancing factor, I'm not part of it. So it's a lot of stuff going on with these tragic losses. I mean, I just lost my little baby cousin, Diamond Johnson. Rest in peace to her. She was dealing with a brain tumor, and it's just a lot of people. And not too long ago, I lost my man Rodney, and just this year alone, experiencing a lot of these traumatic deaths and a lot of stuff, it brings a lot of things into perspective of how you want to live your life, because we know right now that nobody's promised tomorrow, man. And
you got that.
You got to take that into factor. You have to take that into factor.
Well, like you said, life is short, man. So take care of yourself. You got to.
Correct. All right. So we want to move on to a negative, positive note. Everything is live, y'all. So you got to give me a second to get this stuff going on. All right. Now we are going to be talking about this daggone PlayStation and Xbox. Man.
Yep.
Now, Mike and I and Juan, and also Quest, we are all video game lovers. I can say that without a doubt. I'm gonna let Quest start this off, because I'm gonna just ask you one question, Quest. Are you planning on getting the next generation consoles?
Actually, this will probably be the first line of consoles that I'll sit out for a while. Simply because my attentions have not really been on consoles for the last year or two. It's really been on the PC,
Right.
and eventually I will, I'm sure, buy a next generation console.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, um, I have had, and I don't want to keep this going too long, but I have been part of the new console generation ever since the beginning of the video game market. I'm the oldest here, and I started the hobby way back on the Atari 2600. So
Somebody
I've
got
been
some
in,
feedback.
uh, I've I've been in. It's not me, I don't think, but I've been in the getting the new consoles ever since the first ones came out. And like I said, I think I'm going to sit this one out until I see exactly, because the new consoles are going to be more like PCs than ever before. So I'll probably sit this one out for a little bit.
All right, hold on. We getting some major feedback from one of y'all.
Is that better?
Let me see. Say something, Mike.
Something.
Say something, Juan.
Yo.
All right.
That probably was me.
I just muted myself, so it couldn't have been me.
Okay. It's either you or Mike or Juan. One of the two. Ask somebody to grab y'all some earphones or something. If you
Do
can.
I still need it?
Huh?
You still good or what?
Yeah. I'm good. Good. All right. Now, Juan.
Yes, sir.
What say you on these this new console? These next generation of consoles.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to it. I plan on
Hey, Shantae.
give me that Xbox maybe day one. Wait a while on the PS5. So,
Crazy dude.
like I said, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of exclusives on that PS5 that I want, but I'm more of an Xbox game myself. Though. I like the way the Xbox games look.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, because I have to go last.
Huh?
Mike, you
gotta
want to
go last?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Or?
No, go ahead and go because you're gonna be long-winded like always. So, I am looking forward to it, but it's a whole lot of let's say they're still keeping a lot of stuff in the dark. You know, everything's supposed to launch in November. We have no price. There's really no exclusives for the Xbox when it initially comes out, which is a big, I guess, not to be on a good note as far as with that. They put all their eggs in a basket with that Halo.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to the PlayStation 5, man, because I don't know what it is with all these updates to my system. My PlayStation 4 is acting up all of a sudden. I'm just saying. Sound like conspiracy to me, but still, I was gonna get the PlayStation 5 regardless, but yeah, my system is acting up, so it's time to, I guess, put this bad boy out the pasture. But I wish they would just go ahead and tell us a price, you know what I'm saying, so people can prep and prepare, because people just can't put aside all these dollars for these consoles, you know, as far as with everything's going on right now. A lot of people jobless and depending on the government that's supposedly be looking out for us to get this money and everything. But I'm looking forward to it. PlayStation has a lot of stuff going forward. I will in the future get the Xbox because I still love the whole gaming side and the community as far as with that Xbox is killing it with that cloud gaming, which is supposed to launch starting in September. So I'm looking forward to that. I already got me my adapter for my controller when that finally comes out, so I can play while somebody watches TV. You know what I'm saying, or whatever when I'm out and everything. Just as long as I got a good signal. So I am looking forward to a lot of stuff. Xbox has a lot of good stuff in their basket in the future, but right now I'm gonna have to hold off on the Xbox and I'm gonna go for the PlayStation 5 right now.
Okay. So just like half of the gamer community out there and the YouTube creators, such as Mike and myself, it is a definite that we are going to get it. There's no doubt about it. Now, being excited about the next gen consoles, I'm personally not too excited about it, and I'll tell you why. On one hand, with the Xbox, there's nothing coming out of the gate. There's no exclusive games coming out. So when you get the Xbox, you're basically getting a mini what's that small motherboard, Quest? What's the smallest motherboard?
I motherboard was for PC.
Yeah, what's the ATI motherboard?
Well, you have just like you do with video cards. You have NVIDIA, you have ATI, you have many different.
The mini ATI. So you get with the Xbox Series X, you're getting a mini ATI, basically a small PC. But we have nothing on it, and I'm not a Halo fan per se. Never honestly been a Halo fan. So that's not exciting for me. It's just the excitement of having that, saying, okay, I got the next gen console.
Yeah.
As far as with the PlayStation, well, I need a new PlayStation anyway, because I can't insert my disc anymore. I'd have to eject the disc, turn the PlayStation off, then put the disc in there halfway, and then turn it on. Then it will recognize the disc. And every time I play my PlayStation, I feel like I'm on the flight to Florida, because it's just engines revving, and I mean the VR, the VR I haven't played. I get dizzy and sick when I play that. So, I mean, I'm there's nothing for me like really exciting about both of these consoles. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Spider-Man, everybody hyped up on the Spider-Man, but to me, the Spider-Man looks more of like just a DLC attachment to the old Spider-Man game that we previously had. And like everybody is saying, we have no prices. All we have is speculations of release dates and prices. That's all we have. And in this time right now, during this pandemic, where a job is not even granted to you the next day, and health issues and all this other stuff that's going on, people have more things to worry about than, okay, I'm gonna get an Xbox Series X or I'm gonna get the PlayStation 5. Knowing we don't have a price date, they should have been told us about having a price and a release date for this thing. But why are they keeping it so secretive? I don't know.
Well, the reason why they're keeping it that way is because one does not want the other company to turn price into an issue for that company. That's the reason. They're playing chicken with each other. So, whoever comes out with the best price gets the most consoles sold. So that's basically what it is.
But we are down to like the home stretch, so they need to come out with something within the next 2 weeks, because we are basically in the holiday shopping season starting in September. So they got about 2 weeks. I think PlayStation's supposed to have an event on the 9th. I think that's like the deadline for them to get out a price or anything like that. So that's what we should be looking forward to in the next coming weeks. But yeah, they need to hurry up with the thing so people can put money aside. And also too, the issue with far as these pricing, these disc games, what prices are they talking about? Because what I'm hearing is $70 for these new generation of games.
Well, that's not something that has not been done before. If you guys remember, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago with Nintendo, their cartridges were $60, $65, brand new. So that's not something new. But I want to interject something else here that's really evil with this Trump administration. And it has everything to do with the stimulus money. The reason why the Republicans have turned their back on the American people when it comes to the stimulus, and most people don't know this, the Trump administration is pumping trillions of dollars into the stock market to keep it from falling, to make it look like it's very healthy. Instead of giving the money to the American people, they're putting it in the damn stock market. And people should be really pissed off about that. I'm pissed off about it. And there's not enough people out there yelling to the top of their lung that people who are billionaires don't need to have any damn stimulus. It's the people at the bottom right now who are suffering, don't have a job, thinking about killing themselves. This man's always talking to people thinking about killing themselves because of not being able to work because of COVID. But he doesn't care, simply because, and this is the reason why black people need to get out here and register to vote. You can't have people fighting for you if they're not in power.
That's right.
You can't have them fighting for you if they're not in power. This is the time for us as a people to get out and vote and show these people that they're not in charge, that we are. I mean, they're feeding the damn stock market trillions of dollars to keep it afloat while people are starving, while people do not have jobs. And this money could be used. And one of the things about the stimulus is that if they do get a stimulus going, it should come out about the time that these consoles come out. But there's no guarantee because the Republicans want to put the money in the stock market and not in the American people.
That's true.
Well,
I agree with you wholeheartedly with that question.
The thing with this is what I always talk about, and y'all, with the gaming show, we talk about any and everything. So, and with these live shows, man, we can go off topic because it's human nature. Gamers, I don't want people to get gamers twisted. We just don't sit around and play Halo and eat popcorn all day. We have everyday lives and we go through stuff too. So the thing I always say is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, when the Declaration of Independence was wrote, slavery was still in place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So how can something like that document pertain to us? That's why we're getting slaughtered in the street like this, because the government don't give a damn about no black person at all. You can make it rich as a black person, as an African American person, but if they will let you know that you still black, because you figure this out. African Americans, these people that are rich, they may own yachts, they may own big houses, they may own a jet or something like that. But what black millionaire or billionaire do you know that owns any commercial aircrafts? That's the way to get your hold in America, to be reckoned with everybody else. They don't own any shipping yards. Even though we have like black people in power in the government and stuff like that, it's not enough of us in the government to try to affect change, in my opinion. You have more of these white people in place. Then you have these African Americans, I call them house niggas, that's still in place. There was a video of this black guy, I forget what it was, but it was at that conference that the Republicans had, and he tried to shake Mike Pence's hand, and Mike Pence just snubbed him, and he just put the black guy, he just put a big smile on his face, just looking all goofy. And if that don't tell you that this administration don't care too much for black people unless you're rich, and even if you are rich, they don't give a damn about you then either. That's telling you something. Now,
well, Fred, the big thing is that these are opportunists. They only see one color. Even though they're white, most of them, they only see one color, and that color is green.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, one thing that I see us as a people doing a lot, we do a lot of complaining, right?
And not action.
And we're not putting enough action behind this. If all the poor black people in this country registered to vote and went out here and voted instead of complaining, it would make a tremendous difference. Kick these assholes out of office who are only thinking about themselves. This is not a black or white issue. It's a selfish issue. I mean, they just happen to be white. The problem here is that they're thinking about nobody, guess what, except themselves. Everything that they've done is geared towards them. Trump is making all these tax cuts to the wealthy because why? He's wealthy. He doesn't want to pay any taxes. He doesn't want to pay for people to have health care.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason. You know, when you hear these people talk, they say, what are you going to do? You're taking my money and paying for these poor people? You're not going to do that. And that's what these people are all about. And if they can use your color against you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to use your color against you. Because it's not about anything except the green.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I may be a little upset about this because we're getting close to this election, but people need to know, black people need to know, they need to get their asses off their butts and go out and vote instead of playing with this thing. Because just like Kamala Harris said, vote like your life depends on it, because this election, your life does depend on it.
Oh, it does. Most definitely it does.
Right.
It most definitely does.
And one of the nice things about Maryland and D.C. is that it's so easy to vote here.
Mm.
You know, it's really easy to vote. Go and register and vote. Send a message to these assholes that they cannot destroy us because they're trying to get as wealthy as they can possibly get. They can't do it.
I'm just wondering, why this Congress, this whole government is just letting things slide. So,
Well, it's the problem here, Fred, is that the Republicans are in charge right now.
mm,
That's the problem. And they're not thinking about this country. They go on vacation. Here you have people's unemployment running out. You have people who without jobs, and they go on vacation and say, the hell with you guys. We're going to prop up the stock market. We're not going to give the money to you. We're going to give it to the billionaires. That's what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what's happening right now. That's the reason why they will not vote to put the stimulus out there, because they want to put the stock market instead of people of this country. So they can say we have a great economy. We don't have a great economy. Right now, we have people who are suffering beyond belief. They're sick, they have no money, and they have no jobs. And these people are on another planet saying how great it is. I mean, this is crazy, and people need to get upset so they get to the point where they say enough is a goddamn enough. And that's where we're at. And you never hear me say that way, but that's where we're at.
yeah, because you'd have to know, Quest. But boy, I tell you, if Mark was on here right now, Mark would be like, you're like, who that? Yeah, you got no question. This is the angriest I ever seen Quest before in my life. And I've known this man close to how many years, Quest? Have I known
It's been
you?
over 20 years, but we as a people are getting punked by a con artist who's trying to enrich himself beyond any belief, and he doesn't need the damn money.
Not at all. And I just don't know why people are still fooling with this guy. Like, they still believe all this stuff that he's saying.
He's dividing us. If it has something to do with your race, he's trying to divide us there.
Yep.
If it has something to do with this disease, this COVID-19 is dividing us there. And you have people who are confused. They have no idea what he's doing. All they see is Fox News and how he's being so unfairly treated. Well, he's not being unfairly treated. He's the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world. And he's always complaining like a little bitch. He's the most powerful man in the world. He's acting like a little girl every 5 minutes. They're always picking on me. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm better now.
Good, man. Hey, I'm glad you got that off your chest, man. You hold that in for a while. Thank you for releasing that, man.
Well, I wish Mark was on this stream, man. I wish Mark was on it. I'm going to call Mark as soon as we get off here. You need to go watch that one. You need to go watch that one. You need to go watch that one. I'm still getting a lot of feedback. I think that's you, Mike.
It's me. I ain't doing nothing. I'm too close.
Well, here's what we do. Everybody mute themselves for a second and turn, and then we'll figure out who it is.
Then you can blame me, right?
All right, mute yourself, Mike. All right, say something, Quest.
Testing.
All right, say something, Juan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. So it's you. It's you.
Hey, man, my bad, man. I don't have no closed sound room yet, man. I'm building one, all right?
Tell Mikey to bring you some earphones.
Bye, man.
But we all need to tell our friends, our family, everyone who's concerned about their lives to vote like their life depends on it. Because this vote, your life will depend on it.
Sure.
You have to vote. Please vote.
Yeah, I'm like a deer stuck in headlights right now. you better, Quest.
I'm gonna be better in a minute. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'm gonna take my medicine here. That's what Mark would ask.
Hold on, I need a drink. Hold on. Hey, Shantae.
I'll tell you. Let's do it.
I got a caller. I didn't ask for damn Crown Royal Peach for a minute.
You got apple and peach there? You doing it up, aren't you?
Yeah, man, that damn peach ain't nothing but the truth.
Hey, I can't never find that peach, man. It's always sold out. I gotta go to Amazon or something.
Nah, I did that commercial for Captain Charles and Cobb Island. They had some there.
You know, I'm gonna say this. I have two problems with this latest shooting.
All right, go ahead.
I have two problems with this latest shooting. Their first problem is the police officer is holding on to this guy's shirt and shooting him 8 times. That makes absolutely no sense. You shoot somebody 8 times and you got control of them being able not to move into a vehicle. That makes absolutely no sense. But I do have another problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the other problem is the police officer tells you to stop, you need to stop. You know, you don't need to continue on and act like you are in control because you're not at that moment. You know, black people need to understand that we are hunted right now.
That's the truth.
And if a police officer says stop, put your hands up, do whatever you need to do to survive him stopping you. But there's no question that there's a problem with somebody holding the back of somebody's T-shirt to keep them from going somewhere and then shooting them 8 times. There's a problem. There's a problem with that.
Well, see,
really
the problem is that, well, police officers were invented that policing was like a down trickle from slave catchers, because that's where policing started. It started from slave catching. So that's where that originated from. And the thing is that it's disheartening that we always have to have a separate set of rules while dealing with the police. It's always, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And it only pertains to African Americans, it seems like, because we have to conduct ourselves in a different manner than what everybody else does. You can go on YouTube and you can see so many videos of officers dealing with white people, and they're posing a threat, like coming to them with knives and stuff like that, and they don't use any type of lethal force. I just watched a couple of videos on YouTube last night of cops running away from these white subjects, and they didn't use any type of deadly force, right?
Fred, I agree with you 100%. But we're in a situation now where we have to be blameless. That's where we're at. Because they're going to shoot you anyway.
Yeah.
Right? We got to be blameless. If a police officer tells you to do something, you need to do it.
And that's not even safe because they're so scared. They are. But
it's more safe to do that than to keep walking and have somebody shoot you in the back. You know, it's more safe to do that, and not that they won't, but your probability of surviving that encounter goes up if you do what they tell you to do.
And I say that to like other videos that I've seen where people are in jail. I've seen video of people in jail handcuffed to the chair, and you have officers beating the shit out of them. Maybe I should put the advisory thing up. Hold up.
Wait a second. I didn't say anything, did I?
No.
You're a little late for that.
All right.
You're a whole lot late
now,
for that.
if kiddies, if you're watching this, get the fuck away for a minute until I take the advisory thing back down, because the shit is about to get real. I told you, gamers go through more than this Xbox shit and all this other stuff. Now let's talk some real shit now that I got the advisory warning up. And YouTube probably is gonna flag this, but who gives a fuck? But this is the real me that's coming out right now, right? Now check this shit out, right? And I'm gonna be brutally fucking honest about this. It's hard for me to talk about these type of subjects because I have friends that are in law enforcement. But the shit that fucks me up is that when an African American is killed, and I'm just talking about them, I'm just talking about African Americans because this is the climate of the situation. I'm not talking about anybody else, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm racist because I love everybody. I love everybody, all colors and creeds, sexuality, all that. I don't discriminate. If you're an asshole, then you're an asshole to me. If I cut you and you bleed green, then we got a fucking problem. If you bleed red, you know I love you to death. But look, when the shit, when they kill black people, it's always some shit about they try to find an excuse for it. They try to find an excuse. Well, he dealt crack when he was 13 years old. Who gives a fuck about when he was 13 years old and dealt crack? It does not fucking matter because he did not. He may not have been dealing crack when you was arresting him, but still, if he was dealing crack when you arrested him, that still doesn't cause just for you to take his fucking life. There's no way that you can have some crack in your hand and say, pew, pew, and then you drop a motherfucker. That's not gonna fucking happen. What it is that society fears the black man so fucking much that it's fucking ridiculous. We have images of how we are these just criminals and these just don't give a fuck type people, and that's not the fucking truth. They go off the entertainers that we see, because the entertainers, the rappers, the movie stars, they get more press time than what the fuck Fred does, and what Mike does, and what Juan does, and what Quest does. They get more of that time. So you got that stereotypical thing going on, and people feed into that shit. Just like people always say, okay, if I'm gonna sue this motherfucker, I gotta get me a Jew lawyer. Because they think, oh, these motherfuckers good at math. Or if your computer break down, I'm going to go get Chan and have him to fix it because they think they are marvelous in fixing fucking computers. So it's all, and I'm talking about Asian, Chinese people, but it's all a stereotype thing. And that's why we are getting slaughtered, because they fucking fear us. Now, the thing is, you brought us over in this fucking country and we built this shit. How many times we built the fucking White House? We built these roads. We built these railroads. We built these fucking buildings. We did these crops. You wearing a pair of fucking Fruit of the Looms. Guess what? We made your drawers too, because we was the ones that picked that cotton so you can have shit stains in your drawers. We the ones that did that shit. You understand? But America is so fucking pissed off with us for what? For what? We didn't ask you to bring us over here. We was fine in the jungle swinging our dicks, walking in the fucking jungles, catching food and coming home and doing all that other shit. We was fine with that. We didn't ask you to bring us over here so we can work for fucking free and that you can rape our kids and rape our grandparents and rape our... Look, Black History Road, our Black History Road is filled with so many fucking potholes that can't be filled. So our history as black people is already fucked up. Because where would we have been if we didn't get lynched? Where would we have been if we wasn't discriminated against and all this other shit? Where would we have been? We would have been in a better place than what the fuck we are right now. Just because you don't like us because of the color of our skin, and you think that we have this stereotypical disease where we're lazy and we don't want to do shit and all that. Everybody got that. I know a lot of white lazy motherfuckers. I know a lot of black lazy motherfuckers. I know a lot of Chinese lazy motherfuckers. You got... Everybody's the fucking same. So why are you so fucking mad at the black man? Why are you so mad at us? Because we can dance on rhythm? You mad at us because of that? Is we can do a fucking jump shot better than... You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck are you so mad at us? You know what I'm saying? It's... Come on now. We took over basketball. We took over football. You mad? Next, let's take over hockey and see how more mad that you be at us. But I'm just going flipping, flopping all over the place because I just took the baton from fucking Quest because he started the shit. But well, it's just bullshit, man. And now I need that drink.
I'm gonna go back and because I'm older than all you guys. I'm gonna go back and just give you a little information.
Mike, do your camera, your head being chopped off.
Who, me?
Nah,
no, he talking about me.
Oh,
well, Fred, we just see half of your face, brother.
Yeah.
There I go. Hello.
What I was about to say.
Go ahead, Quest.
Is that, and what I was about to say is that all people are the same. We all have our differences, but we're all the same. But I remember, as a little boy, maybe 4 or 5 years old, there was this shopping center. I used to go down and play with this little boy. He was white. Mm. We would just enjoy just playing with each other. Then one day the little boy came to me and he said, "I can't play with you anymore." I said, "Why?" He said, "My mom said that you're colored.
Oh,
and I can't play with you anymore."
Wow.
And I didn't understand that. I didn't know what colored meant because I wasn't taught that type of thing.
Hey, Raider.
And well, we never played together around her, but we still played together. Uh-huh. But the problem here is that this stuff that we're seeing now has been around for a long time. And it's because selfish people think they're more important than other people. You know, they don't have anything else to hang on. They don't have anything else to hang on except their color, which they had no control over when they came here. None. Just like we have no control over what we look like when we came here. Mm-hmm. But they have this little thing that gives them a little more privilege in this society than what they would have if they didn't have it. So they hold on to it. They don't want people, and that's not all people, but it's a human trait to be selfish and think about nobody except yourself, you know? And that's what we're seeing in this situation. And I am so happy to see that people of all colors and all creeds are getting to the point where they're fed up because there's a lot more of us than it is of them, you know? And that's one of the reasons why Trump is so scared right now, because he knows there's a lot more of us than they are of these types of people. There's not enough billionaires in this world to elect him again. There's not enough white people in this world to elect him again. When you look at all the people that are in this country, if we all voted, he would just like he said, a Republican would never be elected again. And to be honest with you, the way they're acting right now, they don't need to be elected again because they're not about the people. They're about the selfish people at the top. That's all they're about. And they just proven it over the last year. They're all about themselves. And if that means that I'm going to discriminate against you because you're black, so be it. I don't care. All I'm thinking about is myself and my family. That's all I'm thinking about. So I'm taking the black and white part of it out of it. It has nothing to do with it. It has something to do with people being selfish, self-centered, and thinking of nobody except their damn selves. Okay. Which is totally opposite of what the Bible teaches. Totally opposite. Okay. Don't get me on this Christian right crap. You know, Jerry Falwell Jr. out there with his pants unbuckled.
Yeah.
Acting like he's all greater than thou. And then when he comes out, he says to his kids, I'm gonna be good now. What does that mean? You just came out and tried to be so moral against the whole country and saying that Trump is such a great moral man, and you're showing to the whole country you're no better than he is. Come on. This is ridiculous. This is all about power. It's all about selfishness. It's all about me. That's what we're seeing right now. Okay, I'm going to take my medicine now. I'm sorry, guys. I got to go take my medicine.
Hop over the thing.
All right, Quest, go take your medicine, brother.
If y'all are now just joining us, we are still talking about the Xbox and the PlayStation thing. It's just that
you talking about life, son.
Now, I got to keep telling y'all that us gamers, we all of us are gamers. Myself, Mike, C, Juan, and my man Quest. We are all gamers, but we go through shit. You understand? Now, first I posted, I was streaming on this thing, and I wasn't going to curse. And Lord knows, I'm the first one to say a motherfucker or something. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you, Quest started the shit off. He started the shit off, and we were talking. We got into something else because he wanted to get his point across, and he might come out with some shit else again, and we're gonna let him do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. You know what I mean? Here at the Gamer Show.
That's right.
But let me just put more advertisement out there. Y'all don't forget, later on tonight at 8:00, we're going to be doing the Madden 21 giveaway. It's going to be on the Xbox One and on the PlayStation 4. And what you have to do, you have to just follow the rules that are in the description of this chat. And you have to look, you got to donate to the Gamers channel. And my man Juan actually donated to the Gamers channel. He donated $2. We're just asking for $1. But if you donate $2, if you guess the price, if you guess the score, then you'll win both copies. So y'all better get in line because Juan is the first one in line. I think we're doing the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New England, and you gotta guess the score to win the prize. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
$2 will get you both copies on the PlayStation and Xbox. $1 will get you a copy on the console of your choice. But when you put your score in there, you have to say, okay, Xbox or PlayStation. You have to put that in that. So 8:00 tonight, y'all, we are doing it, streaming it live, a simulation of the game. We're not playing it. We're just going to put the two teams together and you decide on whatever. So the description is in there. And actually, we're going to do it at 8:15 because we know some of y'all people are slow out there with it. So give you enough time to follow all the rules. You need to subscribe to YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. You need to donate $2. You need to donate $1 to the Gamers channel. And that money goes towards shipping this game out. And it's not brand new. I get this. It's not brand new. It's just 2 review copies. Mike and I are not sports fans. I don't give a fuck about Madden. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about Madden. I can show you all the fucking Madden games that I got. I don't give a shit about Madden. Look, trying to promote it, they ain't talking shit about the game, right? But let's get back on track. If as long as you good, Quest.
I'm good, man. I just
need,
took my medicine,
if you
and
need
I'm
to,
doing much better now.
If you need to bring it back up, bring it back up. So everybody, if you got some Crown Roll in hand, go ahead and take a shot. Should I take the advisory thing off now, or should I leave it on?
I don't know. It's kind of unsafe.
All right. Let me see. All right, motherfucker. All right. All right. Now it's off. All right. I'm good.
Okay.
Just when Quest start talking to me, hurry up and go to the fucking button. All right.
See? You just took it off.
Hey, Mark, when you watching this, it ain't me that time. It was Quest that started. That started. But let's get back to the topic at hand. But like, feel free, Quest, if you need to jump in and say some more, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got the platform. Now, Juan, I want you to get into this. So let me make this clear again. Let me clarify this with you and get your permission. Now, it's cool for me to mention the last employer that you had, because we
Sure.
Okay, because we gonna go in. Let me put the advisory thing back up real quick, because we about to go in on them motherfuckers right now. All right, let me take it off. Nah, let me keep it on. Let me keep it on. All right, okay. Fuck it, let me keep it on. I tried, y'all. I tried Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook. I tried, but it comes out. All right, so me, like we said, Mike, myself, and Juan are planning on getting. I don't know if Juan's getting both the consoles, but I think everybody is eventually going to get the consoles. But we're talking about getting it on day one, or at least trying to get it on day one. I don't trust the fucking mail system at all. So trying to get it on Amazon or Walmart. I mean, I would do Walmart if I can have it shipped to the store. That's the only way that I would do it. But as far as Amazon, man, I've came home plenty of times with my shit just sitting out on the front on the steps. And luckily I don't live in too much of a bad neighborhood where somebody don't run up and take your shit. Yeah, I need to leave this on.
Yeah.
That shit would only work for me if somebody was in the house. You know what I'm saying? But like, now that's one. Second choice, I would not fucking trust unless I was standing out there midnight, and I still don't want to go in that motherfucker because they going to try to put a pillow and a plush toy and some fucking sanitizer that's all liquidy. It's fucking GameStop, man. Look, don't reserve shit from GameStop right now, man, because Camelot.
Be on mute.
Camelot, he released some shit yesterday. He released a conference call that they did, and I'm telling you, if you reserve your shit at GameStop, you may get tumbleweeds there when you go back to pick up your shit. And remember, your
We
shit.
talked about that a long time ago.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, Juan, but your reserve is attached to that store. So if that store goes out of business, you're SOL. Shit out of luck. I still got the advisory up. Juan, take it, please.
I mean, yeah, that's the truth. If you reserve at that store and that store just happens to get shut down, that's it. Your shit gone.
Let your money go.
Say goodbye to your money. So I would say keep in contact with somebody at that store. Let them know if the store about to close down. Let them know. Ask them to let you know when the store about to close down. So you can go up there and spend your money on something else, because now you can't even get your money back if you do put something on reserve and you decide you don't want it. They're going to give you a store credit for the shit. Fuck that. I want my money back.
Yeah.
But Fred, hey, remember how we was talking about this a long time ago?
Yes.
As far as like reserving on, I said GameStop. We said that at the end of last year. Don't be expecting these new consoles to come out and start saving your stuff. it will not be there. Because like some stores you thought that was going to be around, ain't there no more, man. Like the one off of Brandywine, that junk is long gone.
Oh, that joint over there by the Safeway?
Yeah, man, that's gone, bro.
Oh, fuck.
You didn't even know, did you? Go ahead.
GameStop is in trouble,
Yeah.
and they will be out of business, just like Lord and Taylor and all the other brick and mortar places. They're in trouble. They're trying to survive it, but it would be best for you to go somewhere else to get your stuff instead of there, because they're in trouble. Amazon has its problems, but you're pretty much a safe bet to get your stuff on Amazon. Even if something arrived at your house and it was put out and somebody steals it, Amazon will make it good for you.
Yep.
You may be a little disappointed that you don't have it when you're supposed to have it, but Amazon will make sure that you get your stuff or your money.
Yep.
But GameStop at this point, with what Juan just said, they're a business. If you put money in that business and you decide to change your mind, you have the right to have your money back.
That's right.
You know, and if they are in trouble and they need that cash, guess what? They're going to try to figure out how to hold on to it. Yep. So the best thing for you guys to do is just forget about GameStop. Just let them fold, because that's what they're getting ready to do anyway. So, you know, just move on to, unfortunately, online is where it's at right now because of this COVID mess and everything else. Amazon is and Walmart, places like that, they are racking up the bucks because people are shopping online like never before. So, you know, unfortunately, because we're looking at these main stores being that way, like Target, Walmart, Amazon, we're going to be looking at probably some price increases eventually when they feel that they have the corner on the market. But on the other hand, they're a safe bet right now. Going into a brick and mortar store, that's not a safe bet for any of the smaller companies because they're not surviving this right now.
See, my thing is like with Amazon, and I ordered something from B&H, and it was a very big package, and I needed that for a video shoot that I had to do. What happened was they delivered it to my neighbor next door, right? And the neighbor had opened it up because I'm sitting outside. I took off for work that day, and I'm checking the app and it says that it's been delivered because I hear the UPS truck outside, and I go downstairs and I don't see no package, and I'm like, oh man, I'm higher than fish grease by now, and I'm trying to locate where this package is, and then about 10 minutes later, I hear the ding ding from the ring and the dog start barking. I'm like, because that's what really tripped me out, because the dogs didn't start barking when they said that the package was delivered. And she handed me my stuff, but it was open. Just like I ordered a green screen like a couple of years ago, and they sent it to my old address, and I went to go pick it up. And the lady had my stuff. It was a green screen background, but she had it on her dining room table as a fucking cover. I'm like, man, I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off. But that to me is, I just don't trust it. And I get what y'all saying with the Amazon is the best thing to go in the online stuff shopping. I just don't trust it. I really don't. I really don't. Because my thing is that when these consoles start coming out, these USP guys, these FedEx and USP, am I saying UPS guys are going to know what these packages look like. And you may get a dishonest dude in there and he may, you know what I'm saying, say it's delivered, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, there's ways that you can trick the system, but, you know, I can't beat nobody down that I don't know who's trying to deliver my package, but I'm going to call and curse somebody out. And that's not, my temperament is not going to get any type of positive results, because if these consoles are the price where some of these people are estimating it at, $600, $500, even $400, that's a lot of money to be thrown away to say, okay, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of weeks until we investigate and all this other stuff. Nah, give me my shit now. I gave you my money. Give me my shit now. So that's just how it plays. And for me, I know the pandemic is going on out there, but the way that I act when I go out in public and I gotta go inside of a store, I'm gonna be a little bit anal when, because I'm gonna stand in line for my shit. I got to. And the good thing about I don't really like Target. Fuck Target. But the only good thing about Target is that they'll give you a number. They'll give you a number, and then you can go back and sit back in your car, and they may have like 10 consoles, and it may be 20 people outside. But as long as you standing out there, and you like, look, dude, you need to back up. You need to go ahead 6 feet in front of me. You know what I'm saying? With the mask, wear the shield. You know what I'm saying? Wear some gloves, have some Lysol and shit, and spray your area and shit like that. As long as you get that ticket and you can go sit back in your car, I can wait for them motherfuckers to finish doing what they doing, and I can go pick my shit up and don't have to worry about it.
Hey, Fred, I just looked up Amazon's policy on lost and stolen items. And this is what it says. Amazon asks customers to wait 36 hours after the expected delivery in case it turns up. Generally, the retailer should be able to send out a new package or issue a refund if it's clear the package was stolen or lost. They ask you to file a police report. So that's their policy.
Well, see,
so
I would have to have somebody to stay at the house.
The only inconvenience is time. That would be, if you're expecting something, especially game console, because people are going to want to have their game console as soon as they can get their hands on it.
Right.
But it's going to probably take, another week or so before you can get another console if somebody steals it. But the key to this is making a police report. Because if you make a police report, Amazon knows you're serious and that this is something that has actually been stolen. Right. Yeah, and they will refund your money or send you another console.
Yeah, but see that the thing with that is that my patience level is like thinner than a piece of paper. Like if I pay for that shit, I want that shit now. So am I going to have to go rob little Joey coming out of fucking Toys R Us or something for his console?
Well, look, you can try Toys R Us, but ain't none of those around. So
there is a Toys R Us in New York. There is one.
Yeah,
they do have one.
But see, the thing about it is, Fred, you could probably get away with stealing a little 5-year-old's console because you have a mask on. Little 5-year-old will be crying, but man, you get away with it.
Shut up, man. You're like, oh well, question is all right.
Oh, wow. Hey, this stream has taken like so many. Man, we on the back road of this stream right here, man. Hey, Quest, you shocking me today.
How's that?
He said, you could probably get away with it because you're wearing the mask.
Well, see, the thing you have to understand that I'm fairly well disciplined, and tonight I'm not that disciplined because I am pissed off about Trump. I am pissed off about this. I'm so pissed off about this guy taking advantage of this country and turning it into something that it's not, that I am just ticked off. And, I'm just going to say this real quick. Everybody says he's a racist. He's not if he is a racist, he is one. But he's more of an opportunist than a racist. And I believe an opportunist is much worse than a racist, because an opportunist is willing to turn people against each other to get what they want. And that's what he's doing.
Well, I would say he's both. He is both, because his history suggests that, with the discriminating against black people from moving into his I think it was his apartments and stuff like that, and that happened years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, he evidently thinks that some black people are inferior than other people. That's one of the reasons why he has such a problem with Barack Obama, is because in his mind, black people can't manage crap. You know, he feels that black people are irresponsible. So, I guess in that way, it's he is racist. He is a racist. Yes, I agree with you, Fred. Somebody's mom is getting on him. Whose mom's getting on him?
Hey, hold on. Hey,
bring it down right now. You better bring it down right now.
Can you fix another drink, please? I can't because I'm streaming. Just
boy.
one more, please. All right, I'm back.
Hey, Fred, that was a nice edit right there.
I'm starting my new job Monday. So this weekend I'm just chilling, man. I'm just sitting in the house, drinking me some Crown Royal Peach. This drink that she found somewhere. It's a mixed drink, so I'll be drinking that all day until tonight.
That Crown Royal sound good, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. They out. They out. They got some in stock.
Let me run up here to the store. Now you make me want to get some. I can't run to the store right now. The wife got the car, so I gotta wait.
Call in and ask to stop at the liquor store.
Hey, you ain't lying about that. I will do that. Thank you, sir.
But again, y'all can, you can pre-order this thing however you want. It's just all of us have different opinions about it. That's why I wanted to get everybody in and weigh in on this subject. So, I mean, if y'all want to order it, if y'all want to stand in line and get it, you know what I'm saying, y'all can get it. But I think, in my opinion, this is the one console generation that a lot of people just was like, okay, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And I think I'm that way. Like, I'm really not pressed for it because there's no game that's jumping out at me and saying, okay, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. And the way that they're doing with these upgrades, these mid-gen upgrades, what's up, Crank? With the games and stuff like that. Let's rewind back to when PlayStation 4 first came out, right? When you brought Battlefield 4, was it Battlefield 4? I think it was.
Battlefield 4.
Remember when PlayStation 4 came out and the Battlefield game came out? I think it was Battlefield 4. Well, if you brought it on the PlayStation 3 and you put the disc inside the PlayStation 4, you had got a upgrade and you didn't have to pay for it. Because to this day now, if you put the PlayStation 3 Battlefield version into PlayStation 4, you'll get this update, and it updates the resolution and all this other stuff. Right now, they're not doing that, and I think that's a really disheartening service to the gaming community, where it takes nothing but a software or a patch to update these games. So if you buy like Hitman,
had a smart delivery though.
Yeah, but PlayStation isn't having that. Well, some of the game developers, like 2K Games, are not. They're not participating in that. I think EA, if you buy all EA games, like with this Madden that we're giving away tonight, if you buy Madden, you can.
Now you won't ask for nothing else.
Oh, she brought me a big cup. So if you buy Madden, if you get Madden, you can now just. And she shut the door, so I won't ask for nothing else. I can call you. She shut the damn door. So if
That's delayed.
if you have
That's delayed.
I forgot my train of fucking thought. But no, if you got EA games, you know, like FIFA and all that other stuff, I think they're doing the upgrade for free on PlayStation and on Xbox. But a lot of these other software development companies, they're not doing it. And I think
Here you
that's
go,
the
Mike.
crux.
Right here, Mike. Right here. Just
Right
go ahead
there.
and pour that right in there, man.
I got you. You ready? Come
Yeah,
on.
here you go. Guys, there you go. Just pour that right in there.
What's that, peach, Mike? Oh,
Nah,
I mean,
man,
that's
that
Apple.
damn peach is apple, bro.
Apple.
I need to get me some peach, but go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, they oh shit, I just don't like the way that this coming into this generation, how they're doing the games as far as their. Well, we got to live with the pricing, because when when the regular Nintendo was out, I think games was like $35. Then when the Super Nintendo came out, they were like 40 something. And then when Nintendo 64 came out, so it graduated up a little
Right.
bit. Like it was a couple of dollars more every general
Well,
console.
when the Nintendo 64 came out, we saw the biggest price increase on game cartridges ever with them. I believe that their game prices were like $69.99 per cartridge, if I remember correctly.
Some either 50
It
or
was
60.
it was $69. It was $70 for a game cartridge.
Because I remember getting games for like $49, something like that.
You may have been able to get those when they were older games, but the new games were coming out at $69, $70, which was, and they were selling them. They were selling them. But here's my thing about the new generation. You know, we have enjoyed over the last 20 years to see the evolution of game graphics go from something very simple to very complicated. In fact, most games now are photorealistic. So how much better can we get than what we already have? I mean, it has to come to a point where gameplay and because, you know, initially it's very seldom do you get a new title on a new console that has any depth to it. They usually are just games that show off the graphic capability of the new console. And, you know, we've been down this road before, you know. A game console doesn't really hit its stride until at least a year or two after it's been out.
Right.
Because they're not that familiar with what's coming. So we end up being glorified beta testers for the new games that come out. When you have a console like the PS4 or the Xbox One that have next generation graphics that are incredible because they've been out so long. So, you know, you're going to get something very similar with the new console. You're going to get something very similar to what you have with the older consoles because they're not at their stride yet. They're at the beginning. You may get a little bling here and a little bling there, but, you know, we've all been down that game because we're all gamers. We've all been down that path. I don't believe you're going to see anything really incredible for at least a year on these two consoles.
I believe that. Yeah. I give it that. Yep.
Because
you won't see like the real best until it's almost at the end of the console cycle. Just like look at PlayStation 4 with God of War. That was like the epitome as far as how good graphics could get on PlayStation. That's what I saw.
Right.
Well, no. Go back to PT.
Back to what?
Go back to PT. When PT was
PT wasn't as visually as God of War was because it was still grainy.
Well, I think PT, and I'm gonna let you jump in, Juan, because I know you was about to say something. But I think PT to this day is the best looking game that PlayStation 4 has ever came out with. And I'm talking about strives over God of War. I'm talking about, even though we hate this game, you and I, Mike, The Order, which was a beautiful game, but it really sucked. But I think PT was they put their draws in it, man, because they harnessed all the power. It's like the PlayStation was damn nearly choking to produce those graphics that PT came out with, man. And I was blown away, because right now, if you go on eBay and you try to get a console, and Mike, I know every time I talk about this shit, you kick yourself in the ass for this. But if you go on eBay right now, the consoles that have PT on it are selling. And you know what? I apologize to you gaming communities, because I was going to record an episode on how you can still download PT now. Well, I don't know if you can do it the method that I found out how to do it, but there was a way that you can download PT back onto your PlayStation. So,
I don't even care no more, Fred. I don't care. I don't want that crap because it sucks.
I know you was kicking yourself in the ass when you. But yeah, Juan, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying I'm really looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077. I think that's gonna look great when it come out.
Yeah.
And it's already got the smart memory. So once that Series X come out and I'm playing on there, ain't nobody gonna be able to see me for like a good 4 months because I'm playing.
Hey, Juan, because even though I said I wasn't getting the Xbox when it first came out, I did buy the Xbox version of Cyberpunk 2077. So, and for that reason, that smart delivery. So when the Xbox Series X come out, I can play it on that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and
I'm just glad GameStop wouldn't sell me a digital copy of it.
and that's the thing about that, is that depending on when the games are being when these new generation consoles are being released, I think that's only one title that they're banking on selling this console, because they don't have, look, Spider-Man Morales, okay, big up
Miles Morales, man. He's a Spanish black kid.
That's not enough system seller for me in my book, because again, it just looks like an additional DLC, and it has that kind of shell shaded type of feel, like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you take that Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you play that on the 360, then you play that on the Xbox One, you don't see any type of difference, in my opinion, because both of those games look good. Like, you can get Street Fighter on any console, going back, I'll go back to the Nintendo 64, compare that to the first Street Fighter, compare that to the Xbox 360. Those games look marvelous, right? Those games look good. But I want to see something like the cinematic trailers that we were promised, like when we were playing Dino Crisis and we were playing Resident Evil and we were seeing those, they made up for that, when they brought those next generation consoles out. But I want more realism in my games. And to me, the next generation consoles aren't really delivering that, because they fail to do, if they're going to be like a PC, make it definitely like a PC. Let me be able to swap out my GPU and my CPU. For those that don't know what I'm talking about graphics card and processor, like you can do in the PC. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to develop a chip for that, or onboard chip, develop that chip so you don't have to sacrifice one for another. Because what they're saying with the Xbox and the PlayStation, if you have different settings where you're going to sacrifice frame rate for the look of it, and then the look of it for the frame rate. You know what I'm saying? How come you can't, if you're developing a custom chip for these video game consoles, develop that chip so you can bring PC gamers back? Because, like, you lost Quest. You lost Quest for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to let you go for a minute. But when I met Quest, I met Quest on, what was it, SOCOM? Did I met you on? I met you on the PlayStation 2. And that was years ago, right? So me and Quest,
to be precise, 1999, 2000, around that time.
Oh, for real?
So that's been well over 20 years ago.
God damn.
So you were a little Fred. You were a little Fred.
Little Fred.
Just getting out of high school, Fred.
I was doing misdemeanors back then. I was misdemeanors. I graduated to felonies now. You know what I'm saying? but it's the Crown Royal talk right now.
But it's really unbelievable that it's been that long.
And he was on every night. Every night we was NBL. I was SPT. I was with a different clan then, and then I joined NBL because SPT and NBL would always play with against each other, and we had that type of gameplay where we was young kids. I think Quest was probably the oldest cat in the game, but it was just that respect. It wasn't all that fuckery that's going on with the Rainbow Six shit going on right now. It was well respected, and we would always come together, play a couple of games, and we would be on there for hours. Especially when the weekend came in, we would be on there for hours on end. So you're talking about.
I can tell you that NBL actually went for a long time, and there are relationships that we still all have from 20 years ago with the folks like Fixa and Fat Tony and Bones. All those guys from way back when.
And going from online to developing friendships offline, because Quest and I live, right now we live about like maybe 20 minutes apart from each other. And then the time that I met him, I think it was like maybe 30 minutes apart from each other. So I say all that to say that, you know, the console gaming community, it brings people together, right? And it like what SOCOM did, and then we graduated to Xbox when Xbox went online and Rainbow Six, and then when we went to 360 playing these games, and you know, for a while I like, you know, maybe Quest would be on Xbox or maybe Quest would be on PlayStation, but it wasn't like I think it was one system preferred over the other, because I don't think he had, when you first got into those next generation consoles, I don't think you had both at the same time, because
one of the magic things that happened earlier in the console generations was the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah.
What happened with the Dreamcast is why we're at where we're at now. I remember playing Phantasy Star Online and playing with other people. Now that at that early stage, we never on a console were able to play other people online, and I'll get into that part of it. But we were playing Phantasy Star, and it was just like being there. I mean, you couldn't hear them, but everybody was texting and talking to each other while we were playing the game, and it was very exciting. It was magical, to be honest with you, because we had never experienced anything like that before.
Right.
And one of the things about gamers that we kind of, a lot of us were kind of in the closet, especially older gamers. We didn't really have anybody to talk to about our hobby. And once the consoles became communication devices, we had the entire world to talk to now.
Oh yeah.
Which was incredible. We kind of take that for granted now. But to be honest with you, without this type of communication like what we have right now, gaming was a solitary type thing for a long time.
Yeah, it was. And I praise Dreamcast. Like Dreamcast to me is the James Brown of soul, right? Because if it wasn't for the Dreamcast, let's not even go to the Dreamcast, because Quest, you can go back and remember how Sega was kind of ahead of its time. It was. Sega was the first one that did the virtual reality, and this was on the Sega Mastering System. A lot of people don't know that they had
those 3D glasses that were on the Master System were so much advanced.
Yeah.
Compared to anything else. I mean, to play Zaxxon and to have the spaceships coming off your television into your face was an incredible experience for gamers. It really was.
And with Sega Net, that people don't know about, it was the Sega Genesis that had that cartridge that was a modem as well, and I think they only had a couple of games that supported that, but it was a chat-based system, and not everybody had that because I think it only came out. No, it did come out in the States, but it wasn't heavily advertised, and you could play on your Sega Genesis by that cartridge, and then you stuck a cartridge on top of that, and it had online support. Now, it wasn't headset chat. I think it was you had to use the keyboard to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Sega was ahead of its time. And then when it brought the Dreamcast out, that's when it got Microsoft totally fucked them, because they said, okay, you want to use our chip, that CE chip? Well, we need to know how your innards work inside this Dreamcast. And what happened? Some years later, they brought out the Xbox. And the Xbox is a direct descent from the Dreamcast, because if you look at it, everything's the same. The same 4 ports in front of it, the same joystick that held the Rumble Pack and the VMU. Well, the Xbox was a little bit different. They had the Rumble Pack and just the memory card that was in there. And then they later brought out the because it already had the Ethernet port on the back of it. And then they had high-speed internet. Well, Sega did have high-speed internet. It's just that you had to order that adapter. But they did have the modem, and you could play like the Fantasy Star Online, like Quest was saying. You could play the football games. It was a couple of other games that started out, and then they had the internet on it. But you had to put that CD inside of it. So they started that online gaming, in my opinion. But they were too much ahead of their time, and not everybody was, really. I don't think everybody was really digging the online thing at that time, because with the modem, get off the phone and, I need to make a phone call. You know what I'm saying? You had to have 2 lines in the house in order to do the dial up. Yep. And
yeah,
it was just so
Or you would be playing, Fred, and then all of a sudden the phone would ring. And all of a sudden your internet
connection's lost. Yep.
If you had call waiting, it would cut you off, and you'd be done. But if you remember, the PlayStation 2, when it originally came out, did not come out with a modem.
No.
You had to actually purchase the modem separate.
Mm-hmm. And
I
think I got my modem with because we used to play. What was that? Final Fantasy. When the game came out, it came out with the hard. It came in this big ass box, and it came with the hard drive, and it came with the modem. Because to this day, well, if it wasn't for my ex-wife, that asshole, I would have had all my original shit. But I still got the PlayStation that has the hard drive in it, and I do emulation on that, so all my games are on that hard drive. You know what I'm saying? But I still have that. But Sony did come out with it later on, but I think they took it a little step further, because with SOCOM you had the ability to chat, and I don't care what nobody say. SOCOM looks, if kids today look at that, they be like, oh, they look like a cell phone game. I'm telling you, SOCOM to me right now, I don't care, God of War, Rainbow Six, any other multiplayer games, I don't think that they have reached what SOCOM did back in the day. SOCOM to me right now is the best online game ever. best online game ever. And I wish they would come out with another SOCOM, not with the SOCOM that they came out with on PlayStation 3. That was some garbage. But I wish they would come out with another SOCOM and make it just like they did back there in the PlayStation 2 days. That,
even though it would be impossible right now because of the cost, I would love, with everything that we have going on right now, I would love a brand new Steel Battalion that had all the stuff that was available in the original Steel Battalion, but with updates. Man, that would be off the hook right now. Especially with VR.
Y'all can still play Steel Battalion now because them servers, not the original servers, but there's still a community out there that does play Steel Battalion. So if y'all have that controller, and there's a way that you can still play Steel Battalion.
But I want a modern version of Steel Battalion. I want one that boasts the graphics of today.
Mm-hmm.
You get in that cockpit and you're there. And, it would be great to be. I mean, we have something that's similar, but Steel Battalion was so deep. It had so much to it. It was just incredible. And they didn't make it overly complicated, but it was complicated enough where you felt like you were in a simulation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was good.
And hold on, let me look on eBay real quick and see if they still got that. Because that's a hell of a game. That is a hell of a game. And I wish they still had support for that.
Which game are you talking about?
Steel Battalion.
Oh, you can play Steel Battalion with a friend if you get into I forgot what it was. Is it I have it here. Excellent Kai. If you download Excellent Kai, you can play Steel Battalion through Kai.
Yeah. Like I said, there's some Chinese servers that still have that server going on. Just like you can play SOCOM. You can still play SOCOM.
Let me ask you and Mike something. I don't know if Juan seems to be a little young, but did you guys ever what would you guys think of having a VR version of Steel Battalion? Would you purchase it if it was really good?
Oh yeah, I would, because I love the PlayStation VR. I think the PlayStation VR was real good, and it's not as costly as what's out there now. But granted, the new stuff has been added to it. But I love that whole VR space, and it's real immersion to me. So I would definitely get something like that.
Well, one of the nice things is that with a modern version of Steel Battalion, especially in VR, you would not have to have a complicated controller like we had with the original Steel Battalion. Yeah, you could do a lot of things virtually that you would have to do with a controller. All you would need is to have the sticks, and you could do everything else in VR by hand motion.
That would be awesome.
Now, y'all do remember Steel Battalion did come out on the for the Kinect on the Xbox 360.
That was garbage.
Yeah,
it was garbage.
It was.
And it was
I didn't even try to play anything like that.
It was garbage, and it was just something that just diminished the name Steel Battalion, especially for the younger gamers who never had the opportunity to play the original. They played something like that and didn't work half the time. It was garbage. It was garbage. And they really were.
The joystick, like
the huge controller.
Yeah, I never played that. I like
Gundam, 96 buttons or something like that.
If they had it in VR and they still incorporated the console controller, I think that would be great, because it's like you're actually inside the machine.
Well, it was so when you had a group of people playing Steel Battalion, It was so realistic. You know, you're all in your mechs and you have a goal to destroy the other side or whatever problem you were having. You had rivers and you had bridges and you had obstacles and you had hills. You had all kinds of stuff. You had long range weapons. You had short range weapons. You could detect somebody on the other side of the field through your radar and all that. You know, if they had that in VR, that would, I mean, I'm not talking about just stealing the name Steel Battalion, but a real Steel Battalion game.
Okay,
You
now
know,
I'm gonna share my
unbelievable.
screen. I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and I think that y'all will be able to see it. Hold on. And I'm gonna show, because there's a lot of people that probably don't know what we're talking about. So I'm gonna share my screen and so they can see what we're talking about. And I think
And Quest, thanks for the compliment, but I'm not that young. I'm probably about the same age as Fred. Probably like a couple of years younger than him.
Well, you guys are all young to me. You know?
all right, can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. So for those of you all that don't know what Steel Battalion is, it was a game that came out on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and it came with this controller. The controller came in 3 pieces. This was one piece right here. This was the second piece, and this.
Can you blow that up a little bit, Fred? Because it's small, and there you go.
There you go.
Okay. So this was this, and it also came. I don't know if they have the foot pedals here. Let me see if they. Okay, that's the bottom of it. I don't know if they came with the foot pedals, but this was
how many buttons was that? Was that like 52 buttons or 96 buttons or something like that?
Well, you know, one of the things that I really was fascinated with when I first opened this thing and plugged it into my Xbox was when you had the game in the console and you plugged this thing in, it was like a Christmas tree. I mean, it just, I mean, you were just mesmerized with everything that was going on with this controller. They could not make this controller now at a reasonable cost. I mean, it was just unbelievable to see in motion. And you actually had a startup sequence. You could not start your mech without doing the sequence properly. It would not start. So you would have to go through and press buttons in a certain order in order to start that mech.
All right, for those of y'all who can't see it, I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I'm gonna overlay it real quick. Now this is it right here. I'll try to blow it up because I'm thinking about my screen, and it's a little windowed box, and they're not able to see it. But y'all can see this right now. The people that's viewing it. This is the controller that came with Steel Battalion. I'll do it again. It came in 3 parts. But it also came with some pedals, and it was 3 pedals that came with it as well. So this is one part right here. This is the second part, and this is the third part. So all 3 of these parts were detached. And it was.
Do you still have yours, Fred? Do you still have yours?
Hell nah, man.
Okay. Hey guys, hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, Quest still has his. He still has his.
That's tight. I would love to play a Gundam game with a controller like that.
Yeah, I mean that joint was tight, man. That joint was tight. Quest is about to show you his.
And how much did that junk cost, though, bro?
It was.
How much was that control?
Why, it was like $150.
When it first came out, it was like real short.
Know what? But you know what? Back then, you was like, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, because somebody's selling it right. Because it came in this. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all the box that it came in. Because it came in. Oh shit, they selling this for $600.
Damn.
It came in that box.
Yeah, $632.
Mm.
Woo! And that was
Oh, here it
original
is.
Xbox?
Damn, now somebody's selling it for $1,000. This is it right
Brand
here.
new?
Uh-huh. No, well, shit, you ain't gonna find these brand new. But this is it. That's the controller.
The pedals.
The pedals I was talking about. And it came in this big ass box. And this.
Hey.
And actually, I now that it's been years later and they can't try to sue me for this, but I actually ordered one of these, and the UPS guy just he dropped it off, and I got one of these for free.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't pay anything for it. I ordered one. They had sent it to my house. For some reason, they didn't take it off the credit card, and I got sent that joint. So
okay, here you go, guys.
yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Let me go back. Got open screen, damn it.
Yep.
Wow, bro.
Let me click on Quest.
Get out of
real
here,
quick.
Quest.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And see this? That was your eject button.
Yeah, that was your eject
You got in trouble. You hit that button and it ejected you.
God darn it.
And a lot,
cool as hell.
I mean, it was incredible. It was an incredible game.
Yeah.
So I did you one better, Fred. That was a live presentation, buddy.
Can't ask for nothing better than that, brother.
Hey, guess how much it's going for online, Quest?
How much?
$1,000. 1,100 to be exact.
Well, that's if you have the box. I have everything except the box. I got rid of the box.
Nah, they got the box. It's coming with everything. The box, the game, even the pamphlet.
Yeah, I got rid of the box. Maybe I didn't. I might have it up in the attic. I might not have gotten rid of it.
I had to charge my phone down to 10%. We've been on the street for a little bit.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and you're gonna get sick about what I'm about to tell you.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, let me get comfortable.
I renovated my house in 2008 or 2007, and I see. And when I did that, I had the 3D. I had 3DO, two 3DOs.
Oh man.
I had two 3DOs. I had two Dreamcasts. I had 5200, 2600, and a 7800, and hundreds of pieces of software. And including very valuable software. And Fred knows how I keep my stuff. It was just like it was brand new. I didn't feel like storing it. Guess what I did with it?
You gave it away to Goodwill or something, right?
I gave it to Goodwill, all of it.
Damn, I wish you would have called me and told me.
Thousands of dollars worth of collected stuff that was pristine.
Yeah, because I knew you at that time. I wish you would have called me because I took all that shit off your hands.
But I packaged it all up. And I took it to Goodwill and gave it away. All of it.
Damn, bro.
I know somebody.
Boy, they opened up that stuff. They was like, damn.
I mean, it wasn't.
still got
It wasn't 5 or 6 games. It was hundreds of games that I gave away.
Do you still got your Vita?
No, I never had a Vita.
Oh, yeah, I still got mine. I'm holding on to it.
I wish I still had my TurboGrafx 16.
Oh man!
Now that was one system I did not have. I did not have a TurboGrafx 16.
I had that.
My brother surprised me with that. He bought it for me.
I had the TurboGrafx. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I got the games, but I don't have the system.
Damn ex-wife, man, that motherfucker. Oh shit! I had all my original shit. I had the original fucking Nintendo that my mother brought me. She had brought me a fucking Nintendo. It was like maybe two 2 years later after that shit came out, and I finally got it. I had that. I had a TurboGrafx 16. I had my Commodore 64. I had all my Atari systems. I had my Panasonic 3DO. I had the Surge Killer, the Surge Protector Killer. I had the fucking Sega Genesis, the Sega CD, and the 32X. It's like if you had like a six port fucking surge protector, and you hooked up that Sega Genesis compact, you can only hook up 3. Cause that motherfucker, that had all them big ass power bricks, and it would take up the rest of the slots. Man.
Well, I'll take you one further, and this is part of what I gave away too. I had the entire setup for the 32X and the Sega CD. All of it. And you had about 7 power bricks for that thing.
Yeah.
Going into a power surge protector.
The damn 32X.
Yep.
I had
it was
huge.
The
32X.
And that, I gave that away also with all the software and all the CDs and everything else.
I had the side by side.
There was one game in there, and I think if you look it up now, it was very rare. It was Panzer Dragoon Saga. And I gave that away, and I think that game right now is selling for a couple $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Just like the Zelda, the original. If you have the original Zelda, or if you have the original Nintendo Entertainment System, you just gotta check the serial number. That's worth some fucking money. It's worth some fucking money. I believe if you even have the original Sega Dreamcast, you just gotta check that serial number. You're due to have some fucking money coming in. But
somebody just paid. Somebody just paid in an unopened box $1 million for a Super Mario game.
Wow.
I can believe it. I can believe it. See, the young generation won't know the troubles that we had to go through with the Nintendo, with blowing that shit out, putting a cockroach on top of another cockroach, and especially when you was playing Super Mario Brothers 3. I remember me and my brother James, we played that motherfucking game so much. I think we kept our Nintendo on. Well, I kept my Nintendo on for a whole fucking month because you didn't have a save in that. You didn't have a save battery in that game. You had a save battery in Zelda, but you didn't have a save battery in Super Mario Brothers. And then, like, we didn't know all the cheat codes. Like the first stage, you can go behind the curtain and you can warp and all that other shit, and the whistle and all that. We had to play all of those fucking levels and shit, man. And I'm telling you, like, the first time we turned that motherfucker off, like, you at the 5th world, and then you cut it back on, and you like, this son of a bitch, I gotta play all that shit again? Man, I had to keep that thing on there. I'm going to school, and I ain't thinking about no motherfucking 2+2 right now. I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to get past this level I can't get past? That was the only thing that was on my mind. I ain't give a fuck about no classwork, no homework. When the weekend came, man, it was time for Super Mario Brothers. Especially, I can remember Landover Mall and going up to that bookstore. I had a Commodore 64, and they had codes in the book that you can build your own games. And it was like little shit like Mario clones and like chess and checker type games where you wrote the code out and you had those big ass floppy disks. But you would have to go up there, especially if you didn't have that Nintendo Power magazine. Man, the topic on the playground was how the fuck do you beat Don Flamingo, or how the fuck do you beat Hippo? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew and shit. You had to go up to the mall, and if you was the person that figured that shit out and you told everybody in class, oh yeah. I mean, we wasn't into girls at that time and shit, but you was the man for that fucking week. If you knew how to, especially if you was the motherfucker that came up there and was like, yeah, I beat Mike Tyson. Like, no, the fuck you didn't. You ain't beat no goddamn Mike Tyson. I did. You just got to do this. Nah, motherfucker, it ain't work. It ain't work. And, man, you up all night. And I'm talking about when motherfucking TV cut off. And, yes, kids or whoever watching this, TV did go off. It went off.
Yep.
It did not stay on. At 12 o'clock, you saw
Fred, you're really dating yourself. You know that now. You know, most of these young people don't know what it's like to get a United States flag at 1:30 in the morning in the Star Spangled Banner.
That shit
before the TV cuts off.
It was no infomercials. It was no. You had to have that You had to have that TV that you had the two knobs, and you had to switch to the U. Right? Yeah, and you had to take that. You had to take that little knob, and you had to turn it. But this was the kicker. You had to have a TV that you can manually turn a knob, because there was stations in between that that aired after TV went off, but you had to have a certain type of TV to go to UHF and go from 2 to 100 or 200, and you had to gradually
UHF
twist those
had
knobs.
Public television. I know you're watching Sesame Street back there in the day.
Oh, hell yeah. I used to skip school to watch Sesame Street. And who knows this song? The alcohol getting to me now. Who knows this song? Like 1, 2, 3, contact. It's a venture. With everything's happening, contact. Let's make contact. Do do do. 3, 2, 1. Contact.
That's it. Yep.
Shit. Who remember that motherfucker, man?
I knew who could beat Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson's punch out. He's the only person I knew who ever beat Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear.
You know, I done played Resident Evil. I done played the remake of that motherfucker. I done beat except for that Resident Evil 7 and shit. I'm still in the fucking closet and shit because I got bad nerves and shit. I'm not fucking with that. I done beat majority of the Resident Evil games, but I cannot fucking beat Mike Tyson. Ain't that a bitch?
I can tell you the first time that a video game ever made me jump and almost jump out of the window of my house from being scared was that scene in Resident Evil where the dog all of a sudden jumps through the window.
The scariest moment in freaking video game history, bro.
I wet myself.
You knew something was going to happen, right? You knew something was going to happen, but damn it, just that and the music, when that junk hit, and everything, man. I was like,
I still have a problem with water levels in any game I play.
Hey.
I can't stand water levels.
My man Keith Curry, he gonna kill me for this one. But Keith had just got an apartment over there, like down the street from Greenbelt or some shit. Riverdale, I think. He had just got an apartment, and the original PlayStation that came out, and I brought Resident Evil, or he had Resident Evil in his house, and we played that motherfucker in the dark. Now Keith ain't had no furniture in this apartment. He ain't have couch, no nothing, and we was playing this motherfucker in the dark. Let me tell you, that night because I stayed over his house, that night that we played Resident Evil, the motherfucking lights in the bedroom stayed the fuck on because we was playing it in his bedroom and shit. I think we was supposed to link up with some chicks that night, but shit ain't happened. So we played Resident Evil on the original PlayStation. Man, them motherfucking scenes, the dogs jumping out, that shit where the motherfucker turned his head like this and looked at you. I was like, oh shit. Man, I'm getting up. Keep sleep. And I'm like, dog, is there somebody in your living room? I'm like, I'm hearing this. I'm like, man, them motherfucking lights gotta come on and shit. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Resident Evil was the fucking game. That's the grandfather. That's the daddy of all. No, the grandfather of all type of hard games and shit.
Well, one of the things about the PlayStation 1 was that you could always depend on Resident Evil games to be state of the art graphic wise for that time. They were incredible graphically. Looking back, they don't look all that great now, but back there in that day, when you're just getting off the Atari 2600 or ColecoVision, they were incredible graphics for the time.
And let's take it back to ColecoVision and Atari. Well, when Atari came out, if you look at these commercials nowadays, compare that to what you see right now on video games, I can't fathom how people were saying, like with the football game, it looks so realistic. And all you had was you know what I'm saying? And the motherfucking kids, they was psyched about that fucking game, man. The football game, the Knight Rider game, the baseball game, the boxing game where you had two spiders just and what fucked you up in that boxing Atari game, I'm talking about the 2600, is when you got that motherfucker in the corner and all you heard was he couldn't move because he was getting smacked out in that corner, man. And it was a certain part of the screen that, like, you would cause a motherfucker to quit. Like, he'll put down the joystick. Man, I don't want to play no more. And, like, you just in the corner. It's like, and you beating the shit out of him. And remember Combat? Oh, what was that game that had, like, it was like 20 different games on the cartridge? Was it Combat? I forget what it was.
You said 20 games on the cartridge.
It was 20 games on one cartridge on the 2600. I forget what it was called though.
Hey Fred, I'm going to ask you a question.
What's that?
Do you remember Discount Mart in DC?
I remember
in
Discount.
Southeast?
You talking about like near, like down the street from Seat Pleasant?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was two of them. It was two. It was one over there.
I'm talking about. I used to go up there with Mary back in many years ago, and they had an arcade machine in there that was Sega machine, and you could actually sit in that thing. It was Outrun. You would sit in the game itself, and it was one of the first motion simulators where the machine turned and did all kinds of things while you were driving. I was in heaven in that thing in those days. That was probably in the mid to maybe the mid 90s or the early 90s. And it was an Outrun arcade machine that was a cockpit. You got in there, and when you turn the wheel and everything, it would turn with you.
Right.
You know. You don't really. I was asking you because I was wondering if you guys had ever been in there before. That was many years ago. You have been little.
I remember the stand up. I don't remember that particular one. But
this one actually was a motion simulator.
But I tell you this, I tell you one note, since we're speaking about that, right? Now for parents, parents back in the day was like, you play video games, you're never going to amount to nothing. Look at how PewDiePie made, and look at Dr. Disrespect. These motherfuckers are millionaires. But video games will actually teach you some shit, right? It taught me. Guess what a certain video game taught me how to do? It taught me how to drive a stick. You know what game I'm talking about? It really did. I had this African dude. He was real old. He was in high school, right? He was like 21 years old, but he came from Africa, and of course he had the BMW. And I'm not trying to be funny or racist, but the motherfucker had a BMW, and we became friends. And he did part 2 of teaching me how to drive a stick, because the BMW that he had was a manual. But I had already had my experience on driving the manual. Can y'all figure? I'm asking all three of y'all, Juan, Quest, and Mike. Can you tell me the game? If you remember,
Was it hard driving?
Yep.
No. If you went to Forestville Mall, it was inside there. When they had the arcade inside the Forestville Mall, I don't think they had it at Golden Dome. They had it. Golden Dome was in Greenbelt, but I'm talking about they had it inside of Forestville Mall. Can you tell?
Can you tell us? Can you tell us who made the machine?
I don't know the company, but it was the only game that simulated a 5-speed.
I kind of remember something like that in the back of my head. What was it, Fred? What was the name of it?
Test Drive.
Oh, I'm
there. Yeah, not hard drive, test drive. Yep.
Test Drive. You remember that?
I don't remember Test Drive in the arcade.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, it definitely was up in the arcade.
Let me see if
I remember, of course, at home, but I don't remember it in the arcade.
Yeah, it was. You sat down in it. Let me see. Test Drive. Test Drive Arcade. Let me pull up the image. Okay, here it is. Damn, that's exactly it.
Wow.
That's exactly it.
And where was the stick shift on that, Fred?
The
on
stick
the left
shift
side? It was on the left side?
Let me see. Because that's not, well, Test Drive was enclosed.
Well, that's okay. It's basically the same thing. It's just doesn't have a canopy over it.
That's not it. That's not it. Because that looks like a. Let me see. Test Drive. Was this it? No, cruising. But this is what the screen looked like when you played it. It looked just like this. That's exactly how it looked when you played it.
I would have sworn that would be hard driving.
Now, here it is. Test Drive 1987.
Wasn't test driving? I thought test drive and hard drive was the same thing. And then they came out with stunt drive. Or was it in hard drive?
This is, you know what? This is the picture of it, right? Here it is.
Yeah, hard driving. Hard driving, not test drive.
Yeah, it was hard driving, Fred.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, it was hard driving. Hard driving had a stick shift.
Stick shift, yep.
Okay.
So you was right once again, Quest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the old guy here.
There it is.
See,
boy, I know what you're talking about, boy.
Fred had to pull up his diapers when he had to get to. I didn't have to do that, so I kind of remember a little bit better.
You remember playing that loop-de-loop right there?
Yeah, boy.
That was hard. That was hard driving, Fred.
Okay.
Yeah, that junk. I remember that.
Test Drive. Test Drive was one of the games that came to the computer and the consoles. Hard driving was an Atari game. It was an Atari game in the arcades, and it had a stick shift.
Oh, okay. But that game actually taught me how to drive a stick. It taught me how to drive a stick. And no, it was I forgot the African dude name, and I forgot Obaji, I think his name was. That and my man Keith, right? Keith's gonna kill me for telling this story. But you married, bruh, so you know what I'm saying. Me and Keith went out.
Brad, think about what you're about to say now.
Nah, it's not going to incriminate him. We was out one night chilling and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Shantae downstairs, so I'm quite sure she can hear me. So we was just chilling, and we was out to go. You know what I'm saying? How young guys do. We was two handsome young guys, and you know what I'm saying? Had the ladies. So he go see his girl. And his girl had a girl, and I was supposed to be, covering up for the girl, right? And I remember this so vaguely because, and I'm not trying to make fun of her, but she was I think a Spanish girl, but she had a deformity in her hand and shit. So we had went over her girlfriend's house, and her friend was over there, and I wasn't getting no play from this girl. I wasn't getting no play at all. So my man Keith said, I was like, man, I'm gonna go back to the car and shit, because I ain't gonna waste my time on this broad, you know what I'm saying? Even though, you know what I'm saying, I was good looking, handsome guy and shit, I was still getting the ladies. So I went out to the fucking car. I was like, Keith, man, give me the keys. I'm gonna go to the car, because ain't nothing happening in here and shit, you know what I'm saying? He was like, all right, give me about like 30 minutes and shit. I was like, all right. So I'm sitting in the car, 30 minutes go past. Motherfucking hour go past. Hour and a half go past. 2 hours go past. And then Keith comes struggling out this motherfucker, right? And he rubbing it in my face like, man. All right, man, I'm ready to go fuck home now and shit. He was like, hey, man, I'm so fucked up right now. He's like, look, you gonna have to drive. I don't have no fucking license. And to take in this story, Keith was like 1 year out of high school, and I was still in high school, right? So he was a fresh year out. I ain't had no driving experience other than playing PlayStation, and I had the steering wheel and the pedals. That's all the driving experience that I had with Ridge Racer. That's all the driving experience I had. We all the way out in Greenbelt. You hear me? All the way out in Greenbelt. And he lived in Largo. I lived in Forest Park Estates. Keith say, man, you gonna have to drive home. And he had a manual. Matter of fact, he had that motherfucking house party car, the 2-door hatchback jump. He had that motherfucker. He said, man, you gonna have to drive home, man. He said, cause I'm tired as a motherfucker. I said, Keith, man, I don't know how to drive. This nigga turned to me and he say, that's the gas and that's the brake. And then he fall the fucking asleep. We in Greenbelt. We in Greenbelt. I gets on the fucking beltway. And I'm talking about Greenbelt as far as like coming down the street from where the mall is at. I gets on the beltway to drive the fucking home. That was my first experience of driving.
You must have been scared to death.
Kind of, but I was just thinking, no. What was that car game on Nintendo?
Red Racer.
Red Racer. So I'm in that motherfucker. I'm driving the fuck out of that motherfucker. Like,
You probably had the music and everything up in here, didn't you?
Hey, I made it home though. I made it home.
That's cool, man. Oh man, games do help out. Games do help out.
Oh yeah, that was my point. Games do video. Look, parents, and all y'all watching this, don't discourage these kids from playing these games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets your video game play, and I'm quite sure everybody on the panel would agree to me. It's especially right now, what the shit that we're going through. Video game is an escape from reality. It's just like what alcohol does. Like I'm tipsy as a motherfucker right now, right? And it makes you feel good. Even if you going through some shit, if you're going through depression or whatever it is, and I'll be the first one to tell, everybody knows that I'm suffering with a case of depression, right? And then when I fellowship with you fellas and everybody else, that gives me a little escape from the shit that I go through, you know what I'm saying? Because life gets in the way and life happens. But when you're playing video games and shit like that, it's an escape from reality. You know what I'm saying? It puts you into another part where it gives you a break from what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially those of you that can stand virtual reality. It puts you in a different fucking place. You know what I'm saying? It calms you. It's almost like fucking therapy at some most, because the shit that you can do in the gameplay, if you got common sense, you can't do it out in the world. You know what I'm saying? there was this fight. There was this game that I still have the demo of on my 360. Was Fight Night when you play as Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins.
Yep.
I used to get pissed off when I was pissed. The heightened day, I think when I was still working for Geek Squad, and the motherfuckers would piss me off. They would keep calling me the geek. Hey, are you the geek? Hey, geek, can you? Man, my fucking name is Fred. Don't let the glasses and the tie fool you. My name is fucking Freddy. But I would get pissed off at so much of that shit, and then like I would come home. And I'll play as Bernard Hopkins, and I would beat the shit out of Roy Jones Jr., man. I'd beat the fucking strings off his shoes. But I'm just saying that was an escape from reality. Or if you're playing Grand Theft Auto, you can go inside Grand Theft Auto and you can run hookers over and steal
Fred,
cars.
can I interrupt you just for a second?
Go ahead.
I've seen you play Grand Theft Auto.
No.
And you go into role playing. A little bit too scary for me. Get the hell out. I'm going to shoot you in the head. Oh. I said to myself, Fred, this is just a game. What are you doing, man? Get out. Get out. Get your ass out.
It's an escape from reality, man.
Why they ain't put Grand Theft Auto in VR yet?
Well, you can do it with Vorpex or Vorpex, VORPX. You have the ability to do that, but you have to buy the Vorpex software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do it, but it's not official. You know, just like Alien Annihilation or Alien whatever it is. They did actually put that in VR, which is incredible, you know. But
I never played that game all the way through yet.
Fred,
yeah,
you need to get your VR legs, man. You can't. One of the things about VR is that initially, with a lot of people, your inner ear is going to mess with you because your brain is saying that you're moving and you're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the problem. But once you get into it long enough, you know, you can't. Once you start getting VR sick, you have to stop.
Yeah.
But if you start doing it on a regular basis, slow at a time, you start getting your VR legs, and you won't get sick anymore because your brain's not being fooled the way that it was. But if you just do it here and there and now and then, you're gonna be throwing up all over your dog.
See, I can't. I can't stay in. I can't stay in VR too much, like a long time, and it's fucked up because I got the PlayStation, I got the Oculus, I got the what's that Valve,
Have the did you get the?
I got the Samsung.
Index? Did you get the Index?
No, I got the.
Okay.
I also got the Samsung, the mixed reality from Microsoft. Right. So then I got the little.
But one thing I do know about you is that you haven't stayed in VR for any period of time.
Well,
you get a little sick. And then you put it down and.
What was that? What
you
was
have
that
to adjust
VR?
Your brain.
What was that VR game that we was in? That you could change the background, like you sitting on the mountain, and then you sitting in the campfire.
That's the VR jump. The VR
V time.
It's the time.
Yeah, it's V
time.
That's
okay.
V time.
Now, when I first played V time, I think I started playing V time around like maybe 9 o'clock that night, and I got into it with a group of guys. I think it was one female in there and 2 guys. And we was just chatting it up all fucking night, man. And mind you, I started at like 9 o'clock that night. And everybody was cool. Everybody was professional. Nobody was disrespectful. When I took them damn goggles off, it was light outside. So I was in that motherfucker from 9 to about 7 o'clock in the morning. And that time just flew past, man.
But see, the thing about it is, Fred, in that type of VR setting, you're not really moving. You're just sitting stable in one place. But when you're you're in dirt rally and things are just bouncing all over the place, and your head's constantly looking around, and the car's constantly moving. When I first started playing that, it used to make me sick, but it doesn't make it. I kept playing it a little bit at a time until I got my VR legs, and it doesn't make me sick anymore because my brain adjusted to the fact that my inner ear wasn't responding to what was going on around me. So it takes a little time to get your VR legs. You never put yourself, if you start feeling a little sick, you take the headset off. And then you go back and try a little bit later. But if you leave it on and you're still sick, it can make you really VR sick, which will make you not want to ever put a VR headset on again.
Yeah, because that's
real VR sick is no joke. I mean, it's no joke. You have to lay down after that.
Because that's what it was doing to me, man. It's like I can't do. I mean, I can give it like maybe.
You have to lay down after that.
Like 10 minutes, because that's what it was doing to me, man. I can give it 10 minutes, and then after that, man, I got to get off of it because I know I just can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? They have to make it a way where, like some people that do have VR sickness can still actually play that without having the illness effects of having to deal with VR. They just
as long as you've got an inner ear, which you will not lose, you'll have that for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
your brain's going to respond to whether you're moving or not, and there's an adjustment period of time. A lot of people get VR sick, but you have to be in VR a little bit to get your VR legs, as they say.
Yeah.
You remember that time where we streamed Don't Knock Twice?
Oh yeah. hey, Juan was all over the motherfucking place, man. I'm like,
that was my first time really in VR.
Cause
was that a PlayStation? Is that a PlayStation?
No, well, it's on PlayStation, but I think he was playing it on the Valve joint.
Okay.
Not Oculus, but the other one. And he's tethered to the headset, and everybody that I let play that, because I was intentionally letting them play it, because at the end when that motherfucking hand come up to your face and shit and scare the shit out you, there was like Juan was all over the place, and it
you see Juan trying to get away from it now.
He's like, I was in a small room at that time, right? So I had it in the bedroom, and there was a full closet that was on the left-hand side. You would start at the middle of the room, and I really didn't have that much room in that room, right? So he would sometimes go towards the closet, and you would be right on there, and then when you're trying to swing the hands, you're hitting the fucking closet door. I'm like, hold on, Juan, you gotta come back a little bit. Because the shit will fuck you up, because it's putting you in that disoriented space where you don't know where you're at anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Juan can better explain it than I can. How was it for you when you played it?
I mean, it was kind of a little bit disoriented, but like I said, I was in there for like a full 3.5 hours without having to take a break. And I only had one legitimate jump scare that whole entire game. You remember that, Fred? That was when you look down and the baby right there at your leg? That's the only time I legitimately jump scared. All my other jump scares was because Fred kept on screaming.
He does that to you, man. He does that to you every time we play something scary. Like, whoa, what was it? You the one playing.
Hey, I don't fuck with horror games and shit, man. Fuck that.
But that's the only way that I want to play that Resident Evil 7, though. That's the only way that I want to.
Man.
Hey, look, I haven't got through it yet, and I'm playing it in that VR mode. Yeah, you gotta play like little bite pieces of that junk, man. But yeah, it is. That is the best way to play that junk. Talking about, woo, man.
Nah.
I still don't know why they haven't brought that to PC.
What, the VR portion?
The VR portion.
Mm.
Oh man, because it is.
And it
awesome,
doesn't look
man.
like it's coming. So
Yeah, that one ain't really nothing to play around with. I don't fuck with it. You know, there was like even what's that name of the game? It got the pigs and all that other shit.
I can actually see Fred being in the Resident Evil game and trying to run away from whatever he's coming after him and knock himself out in a wall.
And see, that's why I don't play it.
I can see him do that.
That's why I don't play it. That's why I don't play it. What's that game on PlayStation where you have to they made 2 games of it. One was VR and the other one you played as like all these different teams. They went in the woods to a cabin and
Are you talking about whatchamacallit? Damn it, what the hell's the name of that game? The little butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn, right? And Until Dawn had it was a roller coaster game.
Dawn in VR?
Yeah. It's a roller coaster game that's in Until Dawn. I forget what it's called. But yeah, they have
I got it right downstairs too. Yeah, it's the VR game, Until Dawn.
And that one is pretty intense as well. When you're playing when you're letting somebody play it that really don't really fuck with it like that. Also it's a roller coaster game. Just a standard roller coaster game. And I let my mother play it. I let Shantae mother play it. And when I did something at Tammy's birthday party, I let her play it. Man, you talking about screaming like somebody was
I always knew that Fred liked torturing people. Now I know. Yeah, he just loved that.
But I wish I could find that damn video. But my mother was like, ah! And I'm like, man, calm down. You just sitting in the chair, ain't going nowhere. And Tammy, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. But y'all go ahead. Damn it.
But yeah, man, that you get a chance to play that Resident Evil 7 in the VR, man, most definitely.
Yeah.
Make sure you got some space around it up.
I was hoping that they would do an update for the PC version, but they never.
I think it's going to be coming. It's bound to come eventually, but they really not really probably focus on that right now.
Well, they're it was supposed to be a free update, but as long as it's been, if they do it, it'll probably be a paid update. They'll probably want money for it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yep.
But they got that new Resident Evil supposed to be coming out next year too. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, the Village.
Yeah. So it's like a kickback to Resident Evil 4.
Okay. On that,
what's up?
Is that just a remake of Resident Evil 7?
No.
I mean, Village with the one with Resident Evil 4.
So the Village is a continuation actually of 7 because it still has some of the same main protagonists, but the other guy you didn't see, I think, was that Chris they showed at the end? I think that was Chris.
Chris, yeah.
But it's like a continuation from 7, yeah.
He was the one in the game. And I think Resident Evil, I think that's one of the Resident Evils that I really didn't finish. Because I thought the game mechanics in that was so... It was so stupid to me. Like, they would always make this that phrase, what's your buy? Or whatever, when you went to go buy like upgrades and shit like that. How is your buy? Yeah, with Leon
4, right?
and
what you're buying, what you're selling.
What you're selling. Yeah, that was it. I thought that was like I think that was like the corniest shit ever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look when it came out, Fred. This is the time of GameCube and stuff, man.
But
Come on, a lot of people was more lighthearted there.
but it did come out on regular consoles. But I can't let them slide on that shit because they were the first Resident Evil game. I think the first 3 were good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the first 3 were good, but then I'm gonna show y'all something real quick before why I got this picture pulled up. Okay, this motherfucker just got his Camaro, and this is what happened to his Camaro.
Oh, he trashed it.
Look at this shit right here. Look at this shit right here, man. He crashed the motherfucker. Still had paper tags on it.
Damn.
Mm. Oh,
But,
well.
but what was we talking about? Resident Evil? Oh yeah,
Resident Evil, man. You said how you hated all of them except for the first 3.
It's like,
but
y'all
all of them were good
that's
except
watching,
for number 6.
y'all just joining in and shit. We still talking about the title and shit, but sometimes we get the cat on the string effect at the game show.
What? Oh, cat on the string effect.
But you know, I thought the first the first 3 Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, and then Nemesis, and even Code Veronica, I thought that was good. I think like after that they kind of got away from the horror of it. It came to be like this karate chopping, just dumbassness. I mean, it was just stupid, and it was like when they brought the movie out, and like with Transformers, when I told y'all when I went to go see Transformers, and I got into an argument with the little kid in front because he kept trying to tell me that Bumblebee was a cheetah, and I kept trying to tell him no, Bumblebee was a beetle. And I'm looking at his father, and I'm telling his father, like, didn't you grow up the time that I grew up? Tell your son that it was a beetle. And we literally got into it, right? Me and this little kid and shit, because he ain't know shit. But when Resident Evil came out, that first one, well, all of them to me, was just dumb as shit. Because I'm like, when the fuck she started doing karate chops in the game? I'm like, that would have helped her ass out. And then I'm thinking about it now. You know what? The other thing that don't fucking that just puzzles me about Resident Evil is that why if you're playing as Jill and Chris and you get bit, you don't turn into a zombie and shit, right? Right? Because you got all the the weed and the little health spray and all that other shit. But if you remember the remake when the black guy, the black cop, was in the mansion and he was dying. You know the remake that I'm talking about, Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2, yeah.
The police officer.
Yeah, the police officer, right? Why the fuck ain't Leon ain't give him some of that fucking health spray so he wouldn't turn to a fucking... That's the shit that I don't get, man. Like,
he was black, man. Because he was black.
It's like the Resident Evil, the Laura, whatever the fuck her name is, she doing all these karate chops and she, kung fuing and all this other shit. I'm like, I can't kung fu these fucking zombies inside the Resident Evil because that would have helped me. You know what I'm saying? When you running out of ammo and shit, you can kick a motherfucker to put him down, but you can't kick a motherfucker inside of Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2. None of the Resident Evil until they came out with the shit where, what was it, Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, where she would zip line down from another building, and I'm like, man, Capcom you just fucking up, man. I wish they would have just stuck to their.
That's why they did a remake, bro. They didn't know what the heck they was doing. Resident Evil 6 sucked.
Stick to your fucking roots. It's no need. It's no need for you to. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to bow out, but I have had a fantastic time. And, it's always nice to see you all. Juan, it's nice to see you again. And I'm sorry I kind of went off and
Don't be
I
sorry,
mean,
brother.
I just, this is my normal personality when I have my medicine. But it's always nice, Fred. Thanks for inviting me, guys. And you all have a great afternoon. I'll be probably talking to you later, Fred.
All right, well, hold on. Let me close the show out before you decide to leave. Again, I want to thank everybody who watched the live broadcast and who's watching the rebroadcast of this. I want to thank Juan and Quest for coming in here, and also my man Mike for coming in here doing this live show. You know, I know we have a certain topic that we were talking about, but we went off the rails. But y'all have to understand that gamers are more than Zelda and Super Mario brothers. We go through shit. We have experiences in life, so we have other topics that we talk about. And this, every time we do a show, we may go off topic, and that's just the human nature of the business. You know what I'm saying? But again, I want to thank everybody for coming in and watching the show. And y'all don't forget, tonight at 8:00, we'll be giving away a copy of Madden 2021 on the PlayStation 4 and on the Xbox One X. The rules are, you must follow us on YouTube. You must subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Follow us on the Facebook side. You must donate at least $1 to the Gamer Show, right? With everybody donating that $1, that goes towards the shipping out of the game. The game is not brand new. It's not in the package. It's a game that I use to do a review on the PlayStation and the Xbox side. We always give it the same review every fucking year because we think Madden sucks. But some of y'all like it out there. I don't care for it. So I don't need the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to give these 2 fucking copies away. All right? And you have to put your prediction. So the whole thing is you predict the score of the game. If you predict the exact score of the game, then you win the copy. Now, if you donate $2, you'll get both copies. You'll get the PlayStation copy and you'll get the Xbox copy. And my man Juan, he donated $2 to the Gamer Show. And your predictions was what was your score prediction, Juan?
10-32 Buccaneers game.
All right. So if he wins that, then he wins. If he gets that, and that's the outcome of the game, he gets both copies. You know what I'm saying? So you got to play to win. But if you want to be a supporter of the Gaming Show, at this time, that'll go to help with these streams, that'll go to help to get video games, so Mike and I can do reviews of, or if you just want to, help the show out, it'll be greatly appreciated. All right. So y'all just come in at 8:00, 8 p.m. tonight. That's Eastern Standard Time, and it will start on time. I'll do a 5-minute delay so you latecomers can come in. But if you want to get into it, you have to cash app the Gamer Show at $ the Gamer Show. It's not spelled with an E. It's spelled with an A. That's THAGAMERSSHOW. And you can donate that to the Gamer Show. Put in your score prediction, and next to it, put in either Xbox or PlayStation. And that's the one that you're fighting for. All right, fellas. Any closing words before we go out?
Register. Vote.
Juan?
Well,
I'm good. Same thing.
Mike C.
Like always, you guys just be safe, man, and we thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. And we want make sure we support each other out there, man. Go ahead and register to vote and do what you need to do. We got to do some changes. We got to make stuff happen.
All right, so let's go ahead and close the show out, Mike.
All right, like always, you can hit us up at the Gamer Show at gmail.com. That's the Gamer Show with an A. Don't forget to have a Facebook store page where you can find free stuff, nice stuff, good stuff, and we'll see you next time.
And please remember to like, subscribe, and follow all our social media networks, join our SteamOS community and our website community, where you can get some free stuff. And we'll see you next time on WWTF. We want the facts.
We want the facts.
Gamer Show.
Great show, guys.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.
See you later, bro.